and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite show.
Oh, wow, no worries.
We are live.
There we go.
Happy Thursday nights, everybody. How about those Kings?
Yeah. What up, Deuce? Hey, Morgan.
It's not good.
I'm rooting for y'all.
Brutal.
Let's go, King.
Hours after the Kings got absolutely smacked, embarrassed by a short-handed Memphis Grizzlies team, drove back from San Francisco. We are live tonight to talk about it all. I feel like that was the entire way home. We just did a post-game, of course, on TV, and then watched the whole game together, which was so fun. Who in the chat watched the entire game?
I know.
There's just no way.
That's a great question.
There is no way
Let's start
there's
off with
anybody in the live chat that watched the entire game tonight.
I think there's going to be some people that did. Oh, as I see, I am numb.
I am no. Wow, dude. Oh, man. The baby daddy says, well, the Kings got their ass clapped. They sure did. No purple fog? Yeah, no, I don't see Sean why would be launching fog tonight. Doesn't make much sense.
15 days since the beam has been in the sky.
15 whole days. Miguel says, hey, Deuce and Mo, I'm from Portugal and found the pod when the Kings drafted meniscus. And it turned me into a Kings fan for life, even after he got traded. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Much love and hope things get better soon. I hope so too. Because tonight was gross.
But hey, good job to them for still being in it, because I mean, a player that you started following this team for is not even here anymore, and you're like, well, they're my chosen team.
Portugal, stand up. Spencer said he turned off the game in the second half when he got home. Wow, Grumble and Mr. Bone said, I watched the entire game.
Oh, yeah.
And Brendan says, I watched the box score at agony. Daniel says, I think I missed the first play of the second half. Some users said fourth quarter was the highlight. Yeah, I guess if that's what you want to say.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Yeah. So what's a beam?
All right. Yeah, there's plenty to discuss tonight because we are in a dark time right now in Sacramento.
Yeah. Not to be dramatic, but yeah.
It's not dramatic at all.
I know, yeah.
We appreciate everyone for being here. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We got to talk about what the hell is going on. Appreciate all you guys who are in the chat. You guys are basketball sickos. You guys are the real ones. Your team is suffering. And shout out to all the fans from other NBA cities who are going, oh my God, dude, I can't wait to see Deuce and Mo crash out tonight. What the hell are they going to say? Because you're sick in a weird way too, but we appreciate you. A hell yeah to all you.
Give me a hell yeah.
All right. Is this rock bottom?
Oh, it's no. Like, if you can go lower than rock bottom, that's what this would be, right?
Sure.
What's lower?
How many times have I said rock bottom as a Kings fan? I don't know.
That's why I'm saying this is lower.
Yeah.
So
whatever
rock bottom is,
it's just falling.
Squeeze.
It's like you're in a black hole and it just keeps going and going and going. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, that sounds
yeah.
awful.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Well, welcome
No,
to the black hole.
no.
Give me a hell yeah.
I'll let you know when we're in that.
Biggest thing you could do to help our channel grow, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and after the show, hit the comments too. Let's start the podcast. Deuce and Mo, come down. In 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo.
Okay, we're going to try that again because I couldn't hear it. 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Oh, what a day. What a time to be a Sacramento Kings fan.
What a time.
The headlines today. Keegan Murray back. Yay! Sabonis out 3 to 4 weeks, at least partially torn meniscus. Ew. Oh, but you do take on the Grizzlies tonight.
Sure.
They lost 5 in a row, 9 of 10. No John Morant, no Jaren Jackson Jr. At least you'll stop the losing skid. Yeah, that did not happen tonight. The Sacramento Kings suffered an embarrassing, disgusting loss on the road in Memphis tonight to a team that was together, sharing, competing, playing in all the ways, I don't know, a desperate team should, and Sacramento did not show up. The Grizzlies scored 137 points. They made 50 shots in the game, Morgan Reagan. 42 of those were assisted. They dominated second chance points, dominated the glass, and they dominated the Sacramento Kings, who are an epic free fall. Kings off to one of their worst starts since being in Sacramento. They've dropped 8 in a row, now 3 and 13 on the season, with the final game of a road trip coming up against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Wow. Oh, should we also mention that the 8 straight losses have all been by double figures, including a 41-point loss tonight, 33-point loss to the Hawks, 31 to Oklahoma City, and sprinkle in a 27-point loss at the hands of the Minnesota T-Wolves, who they see after the road trip back in Sacramento. This is a dark time for the Sacramento Kings, and this podcast is presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. Hi,
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you all doing tonight? I know we asked in the pre-show, how many of you actually watched the entire game? We did. And it didn't get any better. And in so many different ways, where it was like the Grizzlies were playing their entire second unit off the bench.
And technically, those second unit guys are really like their third unit guys some nights.
Ding.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. And playing against the Kings first unit, maybe a little bit of the second, whatever at that point. And it still felt like the Kings were never going to actually go on a run. It felt lifeless. It was confusing. Deuce and I, talked on the way back from San Francisco, the NBC studios, and we're just processing everything. And we're just like, what was that? What is it that we are witnessing right now as a fan base? It's not good. It's not good at all. And then what makes it even worse is when you want to see some of the younger guys get all the opportunities going. Deuce, this was your thing at the half. Who started the game got to start the second half of this game for the Sacramento Kings. And that, to me, told me everything that I needed to know. I was so disappointed even in that.
Well, let's start with the game portion, because you got the game portion, you got what is going on big picture wise, what lies ahead, Sabonis being out, Keegan being back, young guys. There's so many layers to this tonight. At the start of this game, we hear Keegan's back, but then you see the same starting lineup as last game.
Yeah.
So you see Westbrook, Levine, DeRozan, Precious Achiuwa, and Eubanks getting the start. I'm like, okay, interesting. Keegan Murray's back. Why isn't he just playing? And then he ends up playing 30-plus minutes in this game. So hopefully he's starting going forward. But right there, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, you need a guy who can come out and inject that starting group with a little life defensively, someone that I know has the ability to defend multiple positions. I've seen him guard Steph Curry. I've seen him guard Victor Wembanyama. I've seen him guard Lowry Markkanen, Donovan Mitchell. The list goes on. He's your best defender. If he's ready to go, you just play the guy. Right. Full stop right there. But then you get to the actual game portion. And something we had talked about at halftime is you think about the great pick and roll combinations in NBA history. The pick and roll, what a beautiful game, right? And now there's so many more layers to it, right? Teams sprinkle in other movement at the same time. You think of Stockton and Malone.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Boo, boo.
But yes.
Nash and Amari Stoudemire.
Yep.
Hell, modern day, Jokic and Jamal Murray. You don't think about Vince Williams and Zach Edey. You don't think about Jock Landale and KCP. Yet the Kings were being shredded in the pick and roll. And very basic stuff. The help needs to be
So
there.
basic.
If you're going to tag if you are at help and you need to tag the big man rolling, you better be ready to tag, and then you better be able to recover if necessary to your man in the corner, or the other guy has got to X out and close out. But everything was so easy, whether it was getting an open shot from the perimeter, whether it was a pick and roll situation where Edey gets a mismatch with Westbrook on him. Memphis got whatever they wanted. Morgan, when you see a team with 42 assists in a game, it's usually a high-powered offense like Denver, Golden State, teams that have been together, who have chemistry for years and iconic, legendary players. Boston, guys that have been together, they're a squad, connected. It's not a team that is struggling, right?
Desperate for a win.
Desperate for a win, has lost 5 in a row, and by the way, missing 2 key players. Those aren't the teams that do it. And so what I saw today from the starting group is the same thing we've seen over 16 games now, which is no identity. Offensively, they have guys who can score. Zach LaVine was aggressive tonight. He scored. Love to see it. But no one's making the extra pass. People are taking bad shots.
First shot.
They're not making a pass, hell, let alone the extra pass.
Right.
And then defensively, your starters can't guard. They're not on time. They're not hustling. They're not big enough. Offensively, you don't have enough shooting. You don't have enough sharing. It's honestly the worst watch in the NBA.
It is. And on top of all of this, anyone that wants to challenge, but they're without Sabonis and he was getting that flow and the identity. They've had injuries and health throughout the beginning of the season. So has every team in the NBA. So has every team. And especially the team that you are taking on tonight, the Memphis Grizzlies. Every team, I feel like, especially this season, has had so many different issues
Morgan,
with health.
every
and
team.
It's just not an excuse.
This Memphis team has dealt with injuries all year, right? That's part of it. I see San Antonio. They're dealing with injuries right now. Stephon Castle's down. Dylan Harper's out. Victor Wembanyama out. They're winning games.
Injuries aren't taking away your compete level.
That's what it is. We can all acknowledge, hey, losing Sabonis is not ideal for a team that doesn't have much size up front against a team in Memphis that has a lot of size. Like at one point, you're looking at the lineup out there and you're like, God, he's a 7'4". You got Aldama, who's a 7-footer who could space the floor, knock down threes.
Yeah.
And then G.G. Jackson, who's like 6'9". He's defending a guard. Like, oh my God, a lot of size out there. But that's what you said is just exactly right. It's just not the compete needed. When they were losing games early in the season, when they were kind of close, it was like we were tipping our cap going, hey, they're kind of flawed, but Zach LaVine's kind of competing, right?
Every single loss, people were getting mad at me. And I'm like, no. Trust your eyeballs, what you see, what you like, what you don't like. You can point it all out. But I like the way that they're losing right now. Wasn't expecting this team to win a lot.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. What we've seen from the Bulls game on, I mean, like, it feels like since the Bulls game, maybe those like ups and downs and just being deflated and not playing every possession has been since then.
The Bulls game was really bad down the stretch. They beat Milwaukee, but they gave up 133 points.
Okay,
so
no, that's
then
fair.
they followed up with a kind of a competitive effort against Denver, but gave up 130. Then they beat the shorthanded Warriors. The last win, the shorthanded Warriors. But since then, you lose to OKC by 31. You lose to Minnesota that very next game by 27. Then you followed up with a loss to Denver, who they took over in the fourth quarter. You gave up 122 in that game. You lost to the Hawks by 33. They put up 133 points on you. You lost to Minnesota again. Then you lose to the Spurs shorthanded, and that wasn't really close. The score 123 to 110.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't tell the whole story. And then OKC was honestly one of the most competitive outings. You're like, okay, you saw something. You still lost that game by 14, held under 99 points. Tonight's is just like, what? It's not even about that I have some lofty expectations. If you've been listening to us for months, we're like, this team is not it. Like it's this team you're watching now is probably not going to be a team you come watch in February. But that's the thing. It doesn't mean it's any less disappointing to see a group where you have all these vets here that don't seem connected, that don't seem to play the right way. It seems like a whole bunch of miscast guys, maybe guys who don't want to be here, who don't really have like this tight connection to Sacramento. And here we are, 16 games into an NBA season. They're 3-13.
Yeah. And, Doug even said at one point after the game tonight, he said something about how look, we're seeing these patches of really good basketball, and it's just like it needs to be consistent. Obviously not tonight, but he was just saying in some of these games, whatever. And I said that to you throughout this season of when you see those good patches, it gives you hope, like it's there. But I think because it's been so consistent of just patches and not full games, that is what it is. It's not, if you can't put a full game together after figuring out some patches here and then here and just growing off of it. And growth isn't always linear. You're going to have your ups and downs. Absolutely. But it truly feels like at this point, even when we see this group, this roster have its good patches and its good moments. And even if they can pull out a W or two, coming up, it just doesn't, it's not it.
16 games in. Keegan missed the first 15. We can acknowledge that. We acknowledge Sabonis has missed some time.
Yeah.
But to take a step back, like we've said, so many teams are missing players. What's the Kings' identity?
Oh God, there's zero identity, and every team, you can go around the league and people be like, what's their identity? What's their identity? Even without certain players, due to health, due to injuries, whatever, there's still a plug and play mentality or some sort of identity. There is no identity here. Zero.
That's a problem.
Yes.
And if it is an identity, it's, you've got a whole bunch of vets who have a score first mindset, who can't really guard, and they're old. This is one of the oldest teams in the league. LA, the Clippers, who are also struggling in a major way.
Yeah.
No Kawhi, but still, they're a mess. The Warriors, who have been up and down, and the Kings. You are in a league, in today's league, that it's faster than ever. It's more spaced out than ever. The players are more versatile than ever. They've got more skill in shooting than ever.
Different game.
You don't have any of that.
And a lot of these, in top of all that, a lot of these teams have so much depth too. By the way, depth in the same, not depth of all-star players, depth of players that are in the right roles or that are in roles where they can excel in. And we've said this multiple times, even with the Kings. There's so many players on this roster that are miscast. And that happens throughout the entire year or throughout the years of Kings basketball.
So I guess my point is, where do you go from here with this group? Sitting at 3-13, you've got Denver coming up the final game of this road trip, 3 games in 4 nights.
Yeah.
You've lost 8 in a row. I mean, this is not good.
It's bad.
And I know some people on social media are pointing out, at one point, maybe the vets were on the bench, which I have no idea what was going on with that, if that was true or not. But you're seeing that. You're just seeing, the connection not be there. Where do you go from here?
Well, it seems like you can't go any lower. So what do you do next? You would think just... I want to sit here and be like, you got to go with the tweaks. You got to tweak something, do something to the roster. That's a no shit answer, right? So let's just pretend you have to go into Saturday. Where do you go from here?
Team.
Yes. So that's where we're at, people, right? We're just playing in little groups of time. Saturday, where do you go from here? You switch up the fucking starting lineup. You just do it. You do it because you didn't get what you needed from this last group in the last, at least in this last game specifically. And there's no true leadership or identity even with this starting lineup. I think there's so many different individuals in this starting lineup that are absolutely amazing at basketball. But what we are seeing time after time, game after game, that it is not it. So this is when you screw with things. Maybe you shove in a Nick Clifford. Maybe you shove in a Keon Ellis. Maybe you have Keegan and Keon like in the starting lineup. So then your perimeter defense is starting off strong and setting a tone from the start. I don't know, but whatever this is definitely not it going forward, and especially going into a game where you've already lost to this team multiple times.
What you've been doing hasn't worked.
Right.
And there have been many changes to the starting lineup, but nothing as radical as like giving more minutes and more opportunities to some of the younger guys. Like, where is the hope? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And part of this is look at what Memphis, great example tonight. You're down a couple of key guys. You don't think people, you mentioned this, you don't think people in Memphis are a little fired up today going, dude, Cedric Howard today, get more of an opportunity. He's showing some growth. This rookie who's got length and size. He could defend. He plays with a grit and a passion. He's knocking down shots.
Vince Williams with a new career high of assists, 15. Dropping dimes left and right. Yes.
You're looking at this going, okay, like maybe if Ja ends up being traded, like we're not in the worst spot. Like, okay, maybe there's hope. Hope is such a powerful thing for sports fans, and something that right now I think Kings fans are lacking, because what is the hope? The hope is at this point, hopefully there are some trades. The hope is hopefully you play some of the younger guys more. And what's the worst case scenario with playing some of the younger guys more? The good news, Max is going to get more of an opportunity here down the stretch. Unfortunately, that's because Sabonis is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with a partially torn meniscus. And, that's a tough thing. He's going to miss 10, 12 games, maybe more. But Max is going to get an opportunity. Great. But it shouldn't come at the cost of someone being injured. It's like, look, if your vets are not bringing it, and if they're not going to do the things that you want, you're trying to set an identity. That's all we've heard, right?
Yeah.
Every time a new GM and a coach comes in, it's like, we got to have an identity. We got to play this way. And it's all things fans connect with. Wait, you want to be able to defend and run and share the ball? Like, hell yeah. But this is something we had talked about at the start of the season. When you're talking about picking up 94 feet and you're talking about doing all these things, do you have the veterans that are going to buy in and do that? I have no question that some of the young guys will do it, but will the vets do it? They haven't. So if they're not bought in, either DNP them, like fine. Like you also said, hey, we don't want hostages, right? We want volunteers, not hostages. Okay, then we're going to figure out a way to move you, and we're going to move in a different direction. Nick Clifford, get in there. You're going to play 30 minutes tonight.
And I completely understand. It's obviously not easy, and especially when there's going to be so much respect between this former player coach with so many of these players in this league that have stacked up their resume, have done so much in this league. I understand it can be tough, and it's on a shitty team too, that they would be sitting or not getting the minutes that they want or that they feel like they deserve. I completely understand optics, everything. But at the end of the day, what these players provide together as a team in a team sport does not make sense. It does not work. And then you even go to someone like DeMar DeRozan, who I absolutely just love out there at times on the offensive end, can get you a bucket, blah, 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 all the things, right? I'm not even talking about this season. I'm just talking about in his career. It's like, holy shit. How many times at the start of this game was Jalen Wells attacking DeMar DeRozan with the ball? And because he knew what he lacked on that defensive end and what he can't do with his body. Oh, what
I'm sorry, not Jalen Wells.
Jalen Wells.
I know. I was just adding something. My bad.
Got it.
Jalen Wells saw the weakness. And he goes,
yes,
I'm athletic. I'm in my second year. I'm going to attack DeMar off the dribble. And worst case, I'm going to get either a good look or, like, we know the Kings don't have a ton of rim protection. Their help's not there. I'm just going to attack and put pressure on them. And that's the thing. Like, everyone knows around the league, like, hey, the Kings are old, and most of their guys in the starting lineup can't really guard.
Yeah.
And then offensively, I feel like the offense has been talked a lot about. That's an issue too. I mean, they're near the bottom in the NBA, but like defensively, and if you can't guard in this league and make life more challenging, you're just going to get picked apart and you're going to get deflated. And that's what happens. I mean, it's
freshman versus varsity.
You're so right. You're so right. Jalen Wells tonight. Shout out Sacramento's Jalen Wells, by the way.
There we go. Hell yeah.
Who has had his like shooting struggles this year, felt comfortable early. In the pick and roll game, they got really comfortable early and came out of the gates, punched Sacramento. And the Kings just never responded. They never responded. And that's what it's just disappointing. And that's where, it sucks we're having these conversations like a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We're not even at Thanksgiving yet. Like sometimes like you get to January and the season falls apart. This is falling apart before last season.
16.
Last season was a mess.
16 games
16 games in. And you're off to one of the worst starts in Sacramento Kings history, which is honestly hard to believe considering there hasn't been a ton of winning. It's not like, hey, man, this is a crazy stretch. The Kings are just bad right now. It's like, no, they've had plenty of bad teams, but this is one of the worst starts they've ever had.
I think it's more apparent than ever, too, like in this league where not only we saw some of the teams from last year, like the Pacers and the OKC Thunder, like what they created as a team and had success as a team on the basketball floor. You're seeing that just because of what your name is and what you've done in this league, and you pair a whole bunch of that together, does not just automatically create a good basketball team. And why having a good basketball team and depth and identity and like structure and what, like, name the word that works for team is so important in today's league. And the Kings are not that. They are names, DeRozan, Westbrook, Levine, and it doesn't flow or work. Even go to Dennis Schroeder, who Doug took out of the starting lineup. We saw him with that second unit. We're like, hell yeah, that shit's like working a little bit. But the whole team is still not working. That starting unit is still not getting off to the strongest start that they need to get to. And it's mostly because they are miscast. And I'm telling you, if you have Zach LaVine on another team in the NBA right now and he's in the right role, he is dominating. He's doing whatever he needs to do. But this isn't it. This is not it for any of these guys. And it's just hard to watch. And it's hard to watch when Nick Clifford and Keon Ellis aren't getting the opportunities and minutes we'd like to see too. So
the other thing too,
we
talk about how the ball gets so sticky with that starting group. So tonight they had 10 assists and 10 turnovers. The starters, 10 assists, 10 turnovers. The bench had 14 assists and 6 turnovers.
Okay.
Think about the bench who was out there tonight, right? Max, young guy, Neek, Keon, Malik, Keegan. You throw in Schroeder. Oh my God, Schroeder was 0 for 8 tonight. My goodness. Anyway, my point is like, what I feel like you lean into some of these young guys. You're just gonna like aesthetically get a better looking game of basketball. Like they may miss shots and they're gonna mess up executing at times, but like there's no reason why in this game tonight you don't even see someone like Devin Carter. I'm not even caping for Devin Carter, but like you're getting blown out by nearly 50 points to this Grizzlies team. Like I want to see something different as a fan. Like it's just, we know what this is. We know the starting group. They're not turning this around. This is not going to be some, oh man, what an epic run. They got it together. Sabonis is back. And finally everyone's healthy and clicking. It's not clicking. It doesn't work. We have to accept reality. And this is the reality. It's time where you start looking at playing young guys, helping them grow, surrounding them with the right vets, establishing an identity, and at the end of the year, you go, oh man, we got a top 5 pick in a great draft.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Deuce and I, 2 days ago, watching draft picks for a couple hours, because it's like, that's where you are if you are in Sacramento. You're looking forward to the draft, but I feel like more than ever, you're looking forward to the draft in such a different light, because that's where you're gonna have to grow with this team, and we've been saying that forever too. But
this shortcut thing has to be over. Like, I think there's no greater example than this game tonight.
Yep.
Where if you just looked at pure names, DeMar DeRozan is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Westbrook's won an MVP, a Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
Name value. Okay? Tonight, we saw a starting lineup of Vince Williams, Cedric Coward, Zach Edey, Santi Aldama, who was awesome, and Jalen Wells.
I had so much fun watching them.
Yeah. My God.
I had fun watching them against the Spurs the other night, and I had fun watching them tonight.
Morgan, if this exact Memphis Grizzlies team we saw tonight had Sacramento on their jerseys and they were playing
people would be stoked
in Sacramento, sharing the ball like that, competing, playing physical.
And then
we're all about it.
And you do get a win against a team of veterans, and you're like, holy shit, yes. You end your losing streak. You're in a small market. Yes. That is just what. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what Kings fans want to see.
I'm with you.
And you want to build off that, but it's like you got to start somewhere. And the Kings have been in this mid-level place for so long. Obviously, they had the spike with Mike Brown and the Beam team, and then it went away fast.
So fast. And that's why I think this whole thing is just more painful, because we're just seeing it. And, entering like a stage of potentially like, starting over and trying to get young and get a good draft pick. It's not an easy thing to go through. There's bumps in the road, but when you have hope, it can be such a powerful thing. And right now, you don't have it. And Kings fans deserve to have a team that plays a brand of basketball that they connect with. And I think the majority of fans connect with. And this isn't it. It's sad, dude. It honestly is sad that 3 years ago, they were probably the most entertaining team in the NBA to watch. Right?
Oh my
These
God.
two teams we saw tonight, Memphis was the number 2 seed. They won 50 games that season. Sacramento, the number 3 seed, won 48 games. And Sacramento's in free fall at 3-13 with a roster that you look at. If you would have told me this was the roster 3 years ago, like, hey, enjoy this now, Deuce, because 3 years from now, this is what it's going to be. I'd be like, okay, that's funny.
Like, yeah, what happened?
Blocked, you're kicked out of the chat.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how fast this turned. And that's why we always talk about appreciating the moments. Putting that aside for a second, this is just a challenge. And it's tough, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some things I said post game that I'd love to talk about that I totally forgot. Like, I'm not even getting to. It's funny doing that show on TV right after the game. You're in this weird spot because I'm a very emotional person. My heart was like pounding during that post game.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I was just mad. And you're trying to be composed and like talk about the game in a professional way, and like
You did though.
I know. But then I'm like, God, I made some good points there. And I'm like, is there something I'm missing here that so
I mean,
if you have questions for me, fire away, chat and Morgan.
We something that we already brought up is that there's 2 desperate teams out there, desperate for a win. Only one team played desperate. That alone, like that identity alone is just so destructive, disappointing. Hate to see it. You mentioned possibly like not seeing some of the players, someone mentioning that on socials, maybe not seeing some of the players, whatever. And then we talked about this just being a disappointing part of the season, where they're at in the season, the Keegan Murray stuff coming back, and then Domas being out too.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up, there is something about building a team organically too, and you see some of these success stories over the years, and it doesn't mean it's always pretty, right? But when you draft players, especially when you draft them young, you see them grow and develop, and go from being a young person to an adult, and seeing their ups and downs. But I think one of the things over the years has been Sacramento has been a special place for players who end up coming here. Even if they have some like preconceived notions about the city of Sacramento, what it is, like going back to other players they've drafted, they always come back here. Some of them still live here. Hell, a lot of the early 2000s Kings had deep connections. They won here. But even after that, like Tyrese Halliburton had a deep connection in his short time here. He loved it here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And Keegan Murray loves it here in Sacramento. My point I'm getting is I don't know. I need some guys that understand what Sacramento is, and not just here at the end and just here hoping it's going to be good. Yeah, because I'm and look, this may be completely unfair. I'm going to admit this now, but I had this thought on the way back. I'm you think so? DeMar DeRozan's coming back to Sacramento 10 years from now and hanging out. I just think
never know.
But my point is, I just think when you build a team organically, draft well, build a great environment, and get the pieces along, you establish players who understand the connection with the city. They live here. They're about it. They understand the fans. And sometimes with this team, and maybe I'm just being way too emotional and hard on this because they're 3-13.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't feel that. It's all these guys who just kind of came here in the last year or so. It doesn't feel like there's a connection. There's a lot of losing, and it just bums me out. I grew up
get what we're about? Come on. No,
you know what I mean?
Well, and here's what I do know. Because you and I have discussed this before, where it's
Mike Bibby's coaching Sac State. Brad Miller is helping him.
You and I discussed this before, and we were always man, if we had to go because we couldn't make it here in sports broadcasting or whatever, and we had to go to another city and be sports broadcasters, how would we go about that? Our number one thing would be immersing ourselves in the city and understanding the history of the city, the history of that sport, and everything else. I think someone who does one of the best jobs of that is Kate Scott with the
Philly,
Sixers. Yeah. And that was her first thing that she wanted to do, was making sure that she was connecting with the community, the people, and understanding their story, what they were about, what they wanted to do as a team, all the things, whatever. My point is, in Sacramento, there's just such a long, challenging history for this one-town sports team, right? The Sacramento Kings. A lot more losing than winning, but this special connection that every NBA team wishes that they had with their fan base. But Sacramento has it. And I understand if you're a player and you're not going to understand it right away, but you do want to connect yourself to that, because then you do understand the desperation too from the city, the fans, the people, of what diving on the ground for a loose ball actually means to this fan base. I know that's something so simple, and it's duh, of course, everyone should have effort and dive on the ground for a loose ball. But that's a fucking standing O in Sacramento. That is home court advantage shit right there. That is just something so different. And some people will act like that is so dramatic, whatever. But it's so true here. That is all we want to see, is just some different type of effort, some different type of energy, and some different type of connection. And I get what you're saying, but I think it's a little harsh to just throw that on there right now as things are super down.
Man.
I know.
It's just a bummer. And I knew after the Fox trade last year, it was man, it was going to be tough to navigate. And, you get a new front office in here. And I think Scott Perry understands that this team isn't it. Yeah. And I think he understands where the league is headed and what the Kings need to be younger, versatile, play with pace, all those things every team wants to do nowadays. But getting there is just man. And I just can't get over how much they bungled last season and how much that messed up everything, and it's tough. It's tough because now you're in a spot where you just feel kind of stuck until there's, trades that usually end up happening in December. And maybe it gets going faster now because teams like Sacramento are in this funk. The Clippers, who have some incentive to win because they don't have a pick, they might want to make some moves, but it just feels that way right now. Yeah.
I mean, one trade screwed up, one draft pick screwed up, screws over an entire city in so many different ways. When the Beam team year was here in Sacramento, what that did for my personal life, my career, my like everything. It was so special. Everything was elevated in my life. And I know that sounds funny, but it's just like the friendships I made, like all these different that I still have, like all these different things. It just helps in so many different ways. And when it just goes downhill so fast, you're just like, really? We can't, like, it can't even stay in that mid-level again. It just went rock bottom so fast. And that's where we're at. And that's where the Kings are at. And you just hope game by game, there's things that are being, I guess, tweaked. Like that's where this all started with you asking me.
And
like,
something we said, this was, I mean, we've talked a lot about these topics multiple times.
yeah.
But like this feels like a new low. The Hawks
It is.
game was like embarrassing for sure to get blown out that way.
It was the first low. It was the first like, holy
Yeah,
shit, are they
but
going to respond?
Also, I deeply respect like the Hawks talent level, even
Same.
without Trey. Like I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get they're really good,
They're
but
long,
that's really
they're
bad.
athletic. Yes.
All the Kings' weaknesses were exposed. But tonight, you're just like, dude, if you approach tonight with the same level of compete you had the night before in OKC, you like win this game. And it's just the intensity isn't there, right? The physicality isn't there. We were talking about some of the plays post game where pick and roll coverage, no one, I see Zach Edey just rolling to the basket. The help doesn't even touch him. And he just gets to his deep spot, eventually gets, a switch with Westbrook on him and easy score. And you're watching going, where is the fight? Where is the intensity? Where is the communication? And when you see those things missing, it's just so hard to accept. And where I struggle with is like, we hear from Doug, hey, this is how we play. This is Kings basketball. And when he says this, I think what he's trying to say is that's where they want to be because they're clearly not that.
No.
But when you say these things and then the same players are making the same mistakes, you're seeing the same issues with the same starting group
and
at
you
times.
have the power to pull them out.
Yeah, it's like, just do it. Like halftime tonight was a perfect example of this. You're not, a 500 team, or let's just say the Kings are 10-4, and they have the first half like they did tonight against Memphis, where they're getting blown out by an undermanned team. It's not good. And if you bench your guys then, your starters, maybe people are looking at you sideways a little bit like, my God, what's going on there? But in my head, I'm like, if there was a night to do it, it's this one. Second night of a back-to-back. You're 3-12 going into this game. You haven't shown up. This is the night where you start, Monk and Schroeder and Neek and Max and whoever else and just roll it out there. End up playing Saric and Devin Carter and Doug McDermott and be like, you know what, stars? You're off the rest of the night. Like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, think about this. Sit there and watch this game. And that's something that, how many times do you say Popovich sometimes just go sit guys? He's like, I'm done with this. We're not playing the right way. Like, if you're going to change, you're going to set a standard, if you're going to talk about accountability, those are the tough decisions you have to make. And I think it's not as tough when you're sitting at this spot at now 3-13 to do something as bold as that at halftime. You know what I mean? Like,
And how bold is that at this point?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where it's super frustrating because if you have these vets on your team and you have a relationship with them as a coach, it's like you should be able to have that conversation of why you're doing that without it being this huge demotion on them and being like, it's not about them being sucky play. They don't suck.
Look at the box score. There's no surprise. Look at the standings. There should not be a surprise or anything about it. Like,
it just doesn't
you're
work
not
together.
meeting the standard.
Nope.
In Sacramento, we need to have a standard. We're trying to do it this way. And so when it's not being done this way, we go in a different direction.
Yeah, it really is that simple while also keeping the relationships and keeping people happy. It's just communicating. It's just, and like Doug is probably one of the best people to do that, right? Because he is this former player, because he is cool, calm, and collect for the most part and can have these conversations, these tough conversations with these guys. Especially while Domas is out too.
Yeah, what do you think about that? So Domas was he missed the last game against OKC, and you're like, oh, what's going on? The rib bugging him, and it said left knee soreness. I'm like, what the hell? Then he was on the bench last night, and you're like, okay, what's going on? Then you find out today he's out with left knee soreness. And you're like, okay, that's not an ideal thing. So is he getting traded or is there something more serious? Well, it turns out MRI revealed partially torn meniscus.
Yeah.
He's going to be missing the next 3 to 4 weeks. He'll be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. That's 10 to 12 games. That's a lot of time. And that's also reevaluated. So that's a tough blow. You get Keegan back and then you lose Sabonis.
Yeah, you lose size. You lose someone who felt like there were still the ups and downs of trying to figure out how to make the offense more fluid. But that connection with Levine was starting to pick up, even though it was inconsistent, whatever. Like, it's still just, it's part of your identity. You can't really create any sort of identity, especially on the offensive end, when you don't have a core piece. But then on the defensive end, you're not going to have an identity. You're just not. Like, you're just not a good enough team. So what you can do,
You can.
Well, here's what you can do as individuals is just play your heart out, play the right way, be physical, make people scared when they're coming down the lane. I say make people scared. I'm not acting like, oh, you got to hurt somebody. You got to make them feel you. You really do. The amount of times Zach Edey would roll to the basket in a wide open lane and it's like there's not a single forearm even on his body. Like, pinching that back fat. You know, that's what I'm doing.
This is just, that's the type of stuff that is just
frustrating,
infuriating.
It's because it's like the average human being that's not even an NBA player could make a move to be physical on someone on a basketball court, right? Like, you don't have to have any skill to do that. You just have to have the mentality to hit somebody when you're trying to slow them down. Now, there is some skill to it too. If you're like lining up with the screen or you know how to like stunt someone with the ball, like all the different things. But like, we're just asking you to hit somebody, and there's just not enough of that. You saw in that Milwaukee game when Russ started getting into it with Bobby Portis, and then wraps Giannis when he's going up to the basket. It's like, that's the shit you need to see in all of these games right now, because like there's nothing. There's no energy boost.
You need to see multiple efforts defensively. If you get screened, I need you to keep fighting, switch on time, communicate. If you tag the roller, make sure to do it aggressively and timely. And that's the thing. It's the same mistakes over and over again. And so I just have less patience for that when there's a team out there that's the third oldest team in the NBA. You're talking about, hey, some of the things we're talking about are like mistakes. You'd be like, oh, this is what happens when you're playing a whole bunch of young guys. This is a team that's learning. Not this.
Yeah.
Not a night where like Keon Ellis plays like 16 minutes, right? 16 minutes for Keon Ellis. 19 for Neat Clifford. 20 for Max. Like, even that, I'm like, well, you're losing by 48.
Yeah.
We have some more things to talk about coming up. Shout out to all you guys watching us. You sickos, dude.
You're so sick.
Hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done it. All it does is help our channel grow. It's great to see the big crowd in here, but it's also like, it's also kind of like messed up in a way.
Yeah, like you are all sick in the head.
Yeah.
You're sick.
We're presented by our friends who are at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
Oh, man, who needs some wine right now? Well, you can go to SentivoVineyards.com and order up some bottles. Drink with me after a game, or you can drink for the holidays. Gift some bottles as well. You can get them all at SentivoVineyards.com. Best family, all Kings fans. They understand the pain. They understand this entire basketball journey. They're wonderful, and you should check out their tasting room too in Sassoon Valley. But if you can't make it there, SentivoVineyards.com.
Appreciate their support of the Deuce and Mo podcast. Also presented by our friends over at Medic Ambulance.
Woo, woo. Medic Ambulance has set the standard in emergency medical services for over 45 years now. From life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is here to serve. Learn more at medicsambulance.net.
Yeah. Appreciate their support as well. And all you guys for being here. You guys, basketball sickos. to the extreme.
Oh my God.
Just real fast. We
Yeah.
should get to some super chats too. Also hit the thumbs up. There's all these people watching. Can we get to like 300 thumbs up? We got to get the likes up. All it does is help us grow.
God.
All right, let's get to some of these super
Wow.
chats.
Thank you guys.
Cameron says, best part of the season is watching you guys every night.
Aw.
Our final moments with the light, the beam players, and getting to buy a real Brody jersey. Well, appreciate the love.
That's cool.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thanks.
GDM donates $5. We'll be at the Denver game on Saturday. The only hope I got left is supporting Neek because this team sucks. Can't believe they lost by 40. Love the show.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Neek, what did he end up with tonight? It's so funny on games like this where I just don't care about the box score.
I mean,
Nick.
why?
8 points, 3 assists, couple of steals, 2 of 3 shooting. He's also 2 of 2 from downtown. We also need to talk about Keegan in a second too. Jake donates $5. I'm not even mad. I'm just losing interest at this point. It's not fun watching bad basketball. We'll continue to support Kings podcast though. Jake, yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's a bad
Thanks.
spot to be as a fan when you're just like, I just don't even want to watch.
Yeah.
And I hate that for you.
Yeah.
But you know, if you got to take breaks, do your thing.
Shitty feeling.
We'll all be here with you and for you. Thank you to Kenneth, Billy, and Christy, who are still members with us too.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you all.
Well, if we're going to get to some good news tonight, Keegan Murray made his return after missing the first 15 games, came off the Kings bench tonight, ended up playing just under 33 minutes, 11 points, 3 rebounds. He was 5 of 13 shooting, just 1 of 6 from 3 tonight. But yeah, I mean, it was good seeing him back. I felt like he was aggressive, but also that's a big question going forward with him is just how much opportunity will he get to shoot the basketball in this offense with these vets?
I just hate that's even a question. I hate, and it's so true. You'd think at this point, like it's like obvious, duh, figure it out, make sure he has the ball in his hands. But the fact is, all of these players are still here right now. This is what the roster is. This is what we have out there. And we haven't seen a change even in some of these desperate, awful, disappointing losses. So what makes you feel or think that anything is going to be different? I don't feel that right now, but I sure as hell hope that he rips the ball away and does whatever the hell he needs to do when he is out there.
Yeah, I just want him to be super aggressive. He had that one play, his first points of the game, where he was on the baseline and he was just like, yeah, I'm going one-on-one on Omax here. I'm Max Prosper, and he had a turnaround jumper on him. He had another nice take at the rim, so that was encouraging to see. But it goes to the larger point that we've talked about too, is like, if I'm the Kings brass right now, I know what we want to see as fans, but I have questions about some of the young guys. And they just gave Keegan Murray an extension. My question about Keegan is, what's this guy look like with more offensive responsibility? What if he is more of a number 2 option on a team? He may not be that on a really good team, but I want to see what that looks like for him. I want him to get that opportunity. I want to see Keon Ellis out there trying to play 30 minutes a night and doing his best to improve some of his miscues he may have out there. But one way to do it is to just go out there and experience it, because I know more times than not, Keon Ellis is trying to do the right thing out there. He could knock down shots and he could do some things defensively. Neek Clifford, I want to see the ball in his hands and allow him to be a decision maker. We've seen it pop in college a little bit. I need to see it. But when you're not seeing those things because they're not getting the minutes or they're playing with lineups where they're not getting those opportunities, you just get left with more questions than answers. I want to see Devin Carter. Call me crazy, even if they're not in love with him. The guy was a first-round pick last year. And I was telling Morgan, like, it's crazy to think about last year. He came into a game at Boston. Kings are down without De'Aaron Fox, right? And they're going, I think they started Monk and Ellis in that game. They won that game, but Devin Carter came in there and impacted the game with his energy and rebounding.
Yeah.
I just want to see what it looks like. You know what I mean? And so I know what Russell Westbrook's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know what DeMar DeRozan can do.
Oh, yeah.
I know what I'm getting from Levine and Precious Achiuwa. I know. But I don't know about these guys. And when you're 3-13, you have to start thinking big picture. What's the future look like for these younger guys? What do I need around them? Maybe they're not part of the future, but I need to know.
Yep.
And I got to know this sooner than later. This can't be a wait till March thing. Let's start working on this now, increasing minutes.
I'm with you, bud. I'm absolutely with you on that. And it's just like the unknown is right there, and it's clearer than ever. Like, I think there's been years where the Kings have been in that mid place where you kind of understand why some of those guys aren't playing. It's like, no, well, they're really trying, they're trying to win these games because they have a chance every single night. Da, 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 da. It's crazy when even the other night against OKC, going into that game, Deuce and I were talking, like, how weird is it to wake up and be like, oh, the Kings aren't going to win today.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a chance against this OKC team. I don't think I've ever felt that with, I mean, maybe I have like 10 years ago. But like not in recent years did I feel like that. Like, I feel like there's always a chance, like, holy shit, who's out on that team? What can the Kings do? And to be in this position right now where it's like, do anything that you have to do anything. And that's really seeing some of these guys and you can answer all those questions and not have anything be unknown because there's nothing else to really do right now. You're in one of the biggest historic holes in Kings history to start a season. You're not climbing out of it, not with this roster. You're just not.
Yeah, and I think some pushback would be like, hey, they didn't have Keegan for the first 15 games and they've had a brutal schedule. It's tough to say the brutal schedule thing after tonight, right? Like, we can acknowledge that playing OKC 3 times in your first 15 games is really tough. We could acknowledge that I think playing those 9 games against OKC, Minnesota, Denver in your first, I think, this is 18 games. Half your games are against Minnesota, OKC, and Denver in the first 18.
Insane.
That's really tough.
Yeah.
But then you get something tonight where this was a golden opportunity, and not saying, hey, Kings should have smoked them, but like there's no doubt that if the Kings played their best brand of basketball, you should be able to beat a shorthanded Grizzlies team that's kind of scuffling right now, and they weren't able to do it. Anyway, man.
Yeah.
We haven't laughed tonight.
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your butcher and barrel player of the game?
Ooh. I'm going to go with, wow. I think I've just been high on this guy, so I'm just going to stick with it, which would be Cedric Coward.
It's a good one. I like him. And watching him the last few games, and he's gonna have his rookie mistakes, but dude,
Yeah.
I first of all, I like guys who play with joy,
Yeah.
and you could tell he plays with joy.
The way he
He's got a
carries
little
himself.
spunk, right?
Mhm.
And then you could tell he's also a certified dog. He had to go the hard way to get where he's at, and then when you go to just his skill level,
Yeah.
legit,
Dude, doing a little bit of everything.
Yes, defending. Like trying to deal with DeMar DeRozan as a rookie is not always easy, right? But he was trying to make life hard on anybody he was guarding. And, like, I think Levine made some tough shots on him, but you're like, yeah, you tip your cap. You were in his face. You were contesting the shot. Loved it.
Same. Do you have the same?
I did not go with him, and now I feel like I should have. I was giving some love to their leading scorer tonight,
Yeah.
Santi Aldama, who had 29 points in this game.
Fair enough.
That's how out. I was just watching the game and seeing the breakdowns, and I was just like shaking my head. I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that Santi Aldama had 29 points on 11 of 18 shooting. He knocked down 5 of 11 from 3. And hey, give this guy some love. He had to grind too. He was in the G League.
Yeah.
Playing for the Memphis Hustle, and he has established himself as like a legit stretch big guy in this league, stepping up and having a big night.
Well, even when I was talking about the Memphis Grizzlies to some people, and like I would mention Coward, sure, but like Aldama, I would mention his name that people would just kind of laugh, like, haha, yeah, sure, we've seen him a little bit in the league, whatever. And it's like, no. What some of these individuals with Memphis can do together as a team when they all play hard or play with that same type of, whatever coach is putting on them. Like they're doing it together as a team. And you're seeing that even in some of their losses, but for them to do all those things tonight, for guys to step up and have such big games, and even guys coming off the bench and doing the same thing, translating to a win. Yeah, good for them.
It's just great depth to have. Jaren Jackson out, and they just have so much size.
Yeah,
crazy.
No, they do. They really do. Make sure to check out Butcher and Barrel too before every single Kings game. If you're going to the Kings game, it's right across from Golden One Center. Even on away games, you can go and they still have the same pre-game deal, which is $38 for a Wagyu burger, a shot and a beer. And this isn't just like your normal average burger, like everything there. How, like food is comfort, and especially when times suck and shit. That's right now. And so like maybe go eat there and feel better about yourself. Go check out Butcher and Barrel. They're great.
Appreciate their support.
Feel better about
the
yourself.
Podcast.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
No. These are I've never felt this way about a moment of the game.
I want to ask the chat tonight.
Yeah.
We got a big crowd. We do every game, we do our moment of the game that we put in our moment jar presented by J Street Dental. Grab this jar, and it's full of moments for the last couple of years. We were inconsistent, but we've done it every game this year. And you see it's full of moments from years past. What is tonight's J Street Dental moment of the game?
I don't know.
I mean, I think one of the things, even if there's not necessarily like a key moment, it's like something from the game that you'll remember.
Keegan being back. Keegan's return.
Someone saying the Russell Westbrook technical foul. Someone else saying the final buzzer. Who could forget the moment of the game was when the final buzzer hit.
Yeah. Okay. I would say Keegan being back. I mean, being down by as many as 48 points that's talk about.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Down 48
Oh my God.
points. And I guess, you know what? Since I mentioned the pick and roll so many times.
Oh yeah.
We gotta note the Vince Williams Edie pick and roll.
A powerful duo.
Destroying Sacramento. Also noting no John Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr. No Sabonis.
Someone also said the halftime show. Thanks, guys. That's really sweet.
Are you assuming they're talking about us? Maybe they're watching League Pass and they were watching the Painter at halftime and not actually talking about us. Oh,
shit. You're probably right. Were you watching the Painter? I just assumed it was us. Thanks, guys. I was like, our halftime show is really short. So,
all right. That's in the moment jar. Shout out to J Street Dental. If you need dental work or you just need to take care of your teeth, there's no better place to go than J Street Dental.
And they're all Kings fans, so they'll understand your pain and make cavities fun. J Street Dental, enriching lives and enhancing smiles. Head to jstreetdentalgroup.com. You can also check out their sister office, Sacramento River Dental. Like I said, all run by such amazing people.
And the gimmick continues. After Kings losses, we go back to the moment jar and pull out an old moment that hopefully could make us feel better, or it could make us cough and be depressed more. So you ready?
It was kind of funny that you coughed. Ah!
Are we going to get...
pulling out... Oh, wait. Not a purple one.
Okay, thank you. No purple ones, because that's from this year.
Yeah.
We don't need... This year, we definitely...
This year, God. Oh, my God. I cannot believe we're going to have so many from this year, too.
Here we go.
Okay.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I got some bad news for you.
We go back to December 20th, 2023. Kings were in Boston taking on the Celtics. They lost the game. Sacramento lost the game. No Jason Tatum.
Oh, God. Okay.
144 to 119. And moments I put on there, Jaylen Brown dunks underlined.
How many do you have?
144, 119. And you know what that means. We got to go back in the old time machine and see what really went down in that Kings-Celtics game. Kings-Celtics. Derek White and Jaylen Brown each scored 28 points apiece. Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, my God. 4 of the 5 starters for the Celtics scored 20 or more. You had White, Brown, Holiday, Porzingis.
Okay.
Sam Hauser got to start. The Kings, their starting lineup that night, Fox, Herter, Barnes, Murray, and Sabonis. Who did the damage? Who did the damage that night?
Fox.
Fox with 29
Yeah.
points on 9 for 16. 9-1-6. Interesting.
Anyone off the bench that crushed?
Trey Lyles had 11.
Keon had 12.
Dude, did I tell you that, Trey Lyles and Alex Len are on the same EuroLeague team? Isn't that
Get out.
I don't know if that's cool or kind of sad. That like two main roster pieces last year at one point are in the EuroLeague playing on the same team.
Is that last year?
Yeah.
Feels like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, even Trey Lyles sounds so nice right now. I don't say even, depth.
Next up for the Sacramento Kings, the final game of the road trip. They take on the Denver Nuggets
Again.
for the third time this season in Denver, wrapping up 3 games in 4 nights in this long road trip. The Nuggets did lose a home game recently.
I just remembered too.
Yeah.
I literally was saying to someone in the NBC office, I think before tonight's game, like, I'm just so excited to see the Kings play against a different team. I'm so excited to see what they can do. And this is what I got. But
Yep,
go on.
this is what you got. They did lose their last home game against Chicago, 130 to 127. If you want some good news, they'll be on the second night of a back-to-back. They are playing in Houston tomorrow.
Yay.
That's a tough game. That's a good game. That's a game to watch. That's an Amazon Prime game and an NBA Cup game. It's on Prime Video tomorrow. I'm going to be locked into that one. Watched the Rockets and Magic the other night, or other day. I caught up on it. Such a good game. Such a good game. God, shout out Orlando. They've turned their season around, doing it without Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
And the Hawks have been playing well without Trae Young.
You
It's
don't.
interesting.
Sometimes you don't need to
I
just
know.
rely on one person.
Yeah, you need a team.
You need a team.
I'd love to have Banchero. I'd take my chances on
I
him.
mean,
Anyway,
no shit.
Kings and Nuggets. Denver right now sitting at 11-3. They play Houston, then they're back home to take on Sacramento. And then the Kings, after that, they come home to take on Minnesota and Phoenix. Yeah. And then they go at Utah. Oh, my God. They got Houston coming up. Miami. Woo. Let's not look too far
One
ahead.
game at a time.
One
One game at a
at
time.
a time. A question from the people watching us live who
Yeah.
have been here for a while now. How are you feeling after this, I guess, therapy session that we've just had for the last hour plus?
Well, I see someone saying, man, sports are killing my
Yeah,
vibe. Get it.
that's what makes it tough.
Yeah. It's
And that's why, to be honest, we've gotten a lot of people ask us about this recently. Like, you guys are doing podcasts after every game. We literally had friends tonight texting us who, work for other teams, or a guy, Bonte Hill, who does stuff with Warriors, and sending very genuine texts as if like someone died in my life.
It's
again.
so sweet.
And it's very
so
sweet. People are concerned, like, are you guys going to be doing okay? And I was actually talking to my therapist about this.
Oh.
Well, because I think in sports conversation so much, over the years, it's just been a bunch of dudes yelling or ranting or doing whatever.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. We get up. I mean, we were upset for the first 45 minutes of this podcast, but we're not going to scream and yell. We just talk and we just let it out, talk about things. We're going to laugh. And that's just going to be our approach. I mean, that's not going to change. And I said before the season started, my goal is that after every podcast, we walk away going, did we laugh once today? Because at the end of the day, we just spoke for 45 minutes about like all these teams' issues. And there's nothing we're going to say that's going to change anything. But it did feel good letting it out. And now we're coming down, winding things up. And I'm like, I felt better to talk about it. We're just going to do the show our way. And yeah, does it suck when the Kings lose? Yeah. But I literally could not do this after every single game if all I'm going to do is yell, scream, spit out of my mouth, and having no depth. There's no point. Like, I want to do this because I love watching basketball. I love the Sacramento Kings. Crazy. Why was it born in Sacramento? Could have been born somewhere else, huh?
No.
Why was it born in Boston, huh?
No.
Miami?
No.
Good. No. Sacramento. And we do this because we love it. So we're just going to keep doing this, and we're going to come on. We're going to be upset sometimes. We're going to be happy sometimes. We're going to be sad. We're going to get through it together because that's what we did. I'll never forget, during the whole Beam Team year, the OG Beam Team 48 wins, one of the things we joked about is, man, can you remember the days when we saw them lose 9 games in a row twice?
Yeah. And we said, man, never forget that, guys.
Never forget it.
Those
Well,
9-game losing streaks.
You won't have to forget it because guess what?
It's back.
9 games in a row could be next game.
Hey, guys, I'm a 9-game losing streak, and I'm here to remind you how much fun I can be.
Yeah.
Remember, 9 times is the charm.
Yeah.
How funny would that be? Just like every time the 9-game losing streak, like, angel appears.
Dear God, go away. Go away.
Who's ready for a good time? Just call the number 9.
Yeah. Number 9's in Kings history. Kevin Herter. Your guy, Kenny Thomas.
My God.
Terrence Davis wore number 9 for a bit. Yeah.
9 is the lucky
Anyway,
number.
final thoughts from you. I just kind of gave mine just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just, I don't fucking know.
Okay. I'm not ending like you doing this. And that's fine. If
No.
you don't have fun, just be like, I don't really have final thoughts.
I guess my final thoughts are, but it's just it is hard right now. It's hard. And sadly, how I look at it though is that there's 2 teams on the floor, and my God, if I'm going to watch, like, if I'm going to cover a team that's not giving me what I need, or it's bad or whatever, it's like, at least I get to watch this other team compete, play, do whatever, play basketball the right way, whatever. We were talking to some of our OKC people, and like, there's nights where they're like, oh, they're going to win by 1 million again. Oh my God. Once again, like, the game's over, in the 3rd quarter. So it's just like, we win again. And I would much rather be in that spot. Yes. But it is so funny to me to see how, like, everyone's perspective is different when they're watching these games. And that's why for me, I think I have kind of gone in this direction of like, well, I'm sitting here for hours watching these games. I love basketball so much. I'm not going to let this just like take away my joy and what I love to do. And so you just got to remember there's 2 teams to watch out there.
Anthony donates $10 saying strong night chat vibes. Thanks for hanging tough. No, we'll hang through it together.
Thank you.
And hopefully one day the Kings just can get it together and understand what it takes to win.
Hey.
Patience, discipline, love.
I thought you were going to name like the 6 pillars. I was like,
No, I'm
not
just talking
now.
about my beliefs. Like,
Yeah.
understand, like, this is hire the best people, do the right things, deal with the ups and downs, because there are going to be downs even during the good times. There are downs. Can you get out of it, or do you just go, it's over, blow it up? Well, no, you don't. You figure it out together. You get in a room and go, let's effing go. We are building something. Anyway, we love you guys so much, but we gots to go.
We'll see you all Saturday night. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.